Land, Housing and Human Settlement Development William Lukuvi acts on land disputes in Dar es Salaam. Police disrupt a reconciliation meeting attended by leaders of opposition parties in Zanzibar. And in sports, Tanzania receives an official invitation from the International Olympic Committee to participate in the 2020 Olympic Games. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's start off with the national news. The Minister of Land, Housing and Human Settlement Development, William Lukuvi, has said that they have discovered irregularities on ownership of some areas in Dar es Salaam and that they will make sure that they are returned to the rightful owners. Minister Lukuvi made this statement in Msimbazi Mission area when he directed the owner of Victoria Filling Station to return the area to the Catholic Church, who are the legal owners.
The area was sold to me by a certain gentleman who had a title deed, and he gave me all supporting documentation on how he came to acquire this piece of land. Before I developed it, I had permit from NEMC Ebura and the one from the municipal council.
Kama eneo mtu unataka kulipima tena,
is to be revalued, we inform the owner, who then has to surrender willingly, after which he fills out a form. Then when the land is vacant, then a new title deed is issued. If the law was observed, it would not have been possible for the government to issue a new title deed on top of the existing one. It could be possible that there was foul play. I ask both of you to come to my office on Friday with supporting documentation.
Uchukue makaratasi yako uje ofisini kwangu siku ya Ijumaa saa 5. Sawa kabisa. Na paroko, kachukue maramani yako yote hapa uje nayo saa 5, na mtu yoyote anayejua aje ofisini kwangu Ijumaa na wasubiri nyinyi.
A reconciliation meeting organized by former First Vice President of Zanzibar, Saif Sharif Hamad, was disrupted after police entered the conference hall where the meeting was taking place and took the former leader away for questioning before releasing him. The conference was attended by various leaders of opposition parties. Prior to his arrest, Saif Sharif Hamad had said as the country prepares for the general election, reconciliation was key for a peaceful election.
Inawezekana tusingeweza tena kuita Zanzibar kwa sababu yangetokea ndio yale aliyosema vita vya panzi, imani ya kunguu.
And the Immigration Department has said it is continuing to question journalist Eric Kabendera on his citizenship and clarified on why the police arrested him.
Uhamiaji nayo mamlaka ya kuchunguza na kuthibitisha uraia wa mtu yeyote.
The immigration reserves the right to validate nationality of any resident after receiving information from different sources. This exercise is carried out on any person according to the law mentioned above, without taking into consideration his religious beliefs, color, tribe, or societal standing. The Immigration Department received intelligence regarding the nationality of Eric Kabendera, after which we carried out an investigation. However, Kabendera had never been questioned before about his nationality. Nonetheless, he was asked on numerous occasions, of which he declined to come for questioning. We were not able to question him.
Hafiki alikuwa hafiki. Alikuwa anatukimbia, kwa tukashindwa kumhoji.
And in another development, Dar es Salaam Special Police Zone has spoken on the death of Leopold Kuyamba, an employee of the Ministry of Finance at the EU Development Fund Department, who was found dead on the 26th of July in Bozi area in Kuranga District, Coast Region.
Jeshi la Polisi Kanda Maalum ya Dar es Salaam.
Police Force Special Unit in Dar es Salaam, working with the Refugee Special Zone, received news of the passing of Leopoldi Koyamba Rajabe, aged 56, a resident of Kinyerezi, an employee of the Ministry of Finance, on 26 July 2019 at around 8 a.m. It was reported by the chairman of Umgoza village, Mohammed Said, aged 68, in Mkuranga, that a body had been discovered.
Alipata taarifa kuwa pale kijijini kwake umeonekana mwili wa mtu mwenye jinsia ya kiume.
And the mayor of Dar es Salaam, Isaiah Mwita, has called on journalists covering the 39th Southern Africa Development Community SADC Summit to be patriotic and write stories on the importance of unity so that the country maintains its image as a haven of peace. Tanzanians have also been urged to attend the SADC Industrial Week and look for cooperation opportunities.
If they choose to come and invest, I'm sure our people will find employment. But in addition, those coming to invest will also be making a profit. We welcome external business owners and those nearby to come to Dar es Salaam and Tanzania.
Kupitia kwenu niendelee kuhamasisha.
I would like to take this opportunity to urge industry and business owners to come in plenty. Use this week to showcase your products so that we can make Tanzania the production hub for Tanzania, but also for SADC and East Africa Community member states.
Ili tuzidi kui
Small lime miners at Makere in Kasulu district, Kigoma region, have complained against their removal in reservation areas where they have been conducting mining activities. They raised this concern during a meeting with the Minister of Minerals, Dr. Biteko, who directed Tanzania Forest Service Agency to look into how they can help miners who followed mining procedures in Makere Forest Reserve area.
Mining started over 33 years ago. It has no effect on the environment because mature trees are used for fuel. When we want to meet and discuss on how we can harvest the trees and pay the cost, they don't want to listen to us. What we advise them to do includes building of furnaces outside the reserve, so we can manage how energy is sourced. We cannot allow trees to be fallen anyhow. It is not possible. Tree harvesting must comply to rules and regulations set by TFS. You must adhere to rules and regulations and seek government assistance. The government is governed by TFS and mining laws. TFS and Ministry of Minerals should sit together and have a discussion so these people can proceed.
A statue of early man Zinjanthropus, which was inaugurated last week by Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa at Old Davao area in Ngorongoro District, Arusha region, has started to attract tourists visiting the area. Among those who have visited the statue are a group of 120 tourists from Hong Kong, China.
It's an original human being. Good faces. I think unforgettable.
I would like to say that the response has been much better. This is because the Chinese tourists and their companions from Hong Kong have come to this place to see the various tourism attractions. They have also been able to confirm that Tanzania was the first site on which prehistoric man lived.
That's the end of national news. International news is next. And in international news, nationals from Burundi who had sheltered at Kakuma refugee camp in Kenya have continued to return due to restored peace in the country. The latest group include 37 refugees who were escorted by the Burundi ambassador in Kenya and received by the Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs at Melikwa Ndadaye Airport in Bujumbura.
I still think it is a dream that I have arrived in Burundi. The country is peaceful and there are no problems. I can call on others to return. In the camp, I used to advise people that we can and should live peacefully, and I'll continue to do so.
HCR nayo yokubahiriza.
We ask the UNHCR to respect the rights of nationals who want to return to the country and allow them to return rather than insisting that they should remain as refugees.
Ekaho hose hari impunzi z'abarundi.
Dusit D2 Hotel on Riverside Drive in Westlands, Nairobi in Kenya has reopened its doors 6 months after a terror attack by Al-Shabaab militants left 21 people dead. The reopening ceremony was marked by the hoisting of 3 flags by athlete David Rudisha and the head of the hotel chain.
All Kenyans should support the government in bringing about and ensuring peace so as to protect all visitors who are coming to Kenya, as the government of Kenya has assured them all of their safety.
Very, very proud indeed.
I commend all Kenyans who took part in the rescue exercise during the Dusit D2 terror attack. I am also happy that we are back here after just a short time, and we must all come together to fight against terrorism.
Humanity's impact on the planet, that's Earth Overshoot Day. That's when the global population has used more resources than the planet can regenerate in a year. 2019 saw the earliest day yet, that's July 29th. It comes during another very hot summer, especially in Europe. That's got people there focused on the threat of climate change and what we can do about it. For more on this, we turn to William Glucroft, our correspondent from Deutsche Welle in Berlin. So, William, tell us more about Earth Overshoot Day.
These are records that can go back to 1970, when the so-called Overshoot Day was December 29th, almost the very end of the year, looking good. But in the years and decades since, that date has moved up closer and closer. Almost consistently. It's almost never gone back in the other direction, the positive direction, and now we're at July 29th, the earliest day it's ever been. It's moved up 2 days since 2 years ago. What that means is if we continue, if the human population in all continues to live like it does and consume the way it does, we would need 1.75 Earths for all the resources we use. Now, of course, we only have 1 Earth, so that's 0.75 Earths too many. Now, of course, not all countries are the same. That's a global average. Some countries are more consumer-heavy than others. The United States, a major country, huge consumer, they would need 5 Earths if everybody lived that way. Germany, 3 Earths. Tanzania, however, is looking quite good at just 0.75 Earths. So if everybody lived like Tanzanians live, we'd actually need fewer Earths than we currently have. So well done there.
So what is the connection to climate change?
Well, experts say that of this Earth Overshoot Day, 60% of that comes from the total global carbon emissions put out by the human population. And that exacerbates other kinds of impact on the environment, such as deforestation, erosion, producing materials and using materials, especially plastic. These all have a multiplier effect. They exacerbate climate change. They also make other areas of global development worse. A UN report, for example, shows that 35 of the UN's 44 Sustainable Development Targets for poverty, hunger, health, clean water, and the like, they are all put in danger by this Earth Overshoot Day, by the impact and the harm that human population has on biodiversity and a very, very gentle, a very weak natural system around us.
So with this very dire information that we've just gotten from this, what can be done?
Well, it's certainly getting everybody's attention. We here in Germany and around Europe, we're witnessing yet another warm, if not one of the warmest summers on record. Germany just last week hit 5 temperature records in just 2 days. So everyone's wondering what can be done. There's a much talked about September climate conference happening where, as always, we hear big plans, big goals, but these goals often we struggle to meet them. Angela Merkel, in her summer press conference, she said that Germany's climate goals for 2020, just next year, there's no way that Germany will meet those goals. We're now looking to 2030, hoping to be able to make those goals at least. So it's not a great starting place that we're at, but that doesn't mean all hope is lost. Experts who look at overshoot day, who calculate this kind of data, they say that just switching to a more vegetarian diet, having 50% less meat in one's diet, overall that could push back this overshoot day by 15 days. And the German Environment Ministry suggests that cutting food waste, which is a major impact on the environment, 50% less food waste would contribute to 11 more days of time that we would have in the year for Earth's consumption, this overshoot day. But of course, the #1 contributor to what's impacting such a short amount of days in the year for consuming Earth's resources, that of course is our carbon footprint. And the German Environment Ministry says 50% less carbon, that would push our overshoot date back, way into the end of the year, 89 days. So a lot more can be done, and we're going to have to see what happens in the September climate conference, what comes out of it, and what plans can actually put in place to see some of these tips and some of these ideas be put into action.
Thank you very much, William. I hope that not just the governments take this seriously as well as stakeholders, but the general public as well. And that special report concludes our international news. You stay with us. We'll be back with business news after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost-effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back and on to business news. The business community in Morogoro region has been called on to take up economic opportunities from the Rufiji River Power Project and the Standard Gauge Rail Project to get employment and as well generate incomes.
National projects are being conducted in our region and others pass through our region. Because our region is a wide one, 150 kilometers by road from Bwawani to Geira, so we will have sufficient length, about 160 to 170 kilometers. The people engaged in construction will need food. Those at the SGR will need food. They are currently getting it from Morogoro, but this is an opportunity for us here. They should go to them and find out what food they need and prepare and sell it to them.
Cotton farmers in Kahama district, Shinyanga region, have said that they are forced to store cotton in their homes as the warehouses are overflowing with cotton due to lack of buyers.
We spend a lot of energy engaged in cotton, We spend a lot of energy engaged in cotton farming, but there are no interests. I have farmed 7 acres, but brought a small amount here due to difficult transport conditions, and there is no money. I ask the government to help us. After the fire that occurred, we have decided to take precautions such as makeshift fire prevention items, like the water tank and sand. I hear that will help us if there are signs of fire. If payment cannot be completed by this week, then they should ensure that by next week they have paid it all. We also want all cotton stored at home to have been brought, taken, and all farmers paid by the 31st.
Iwe yote imeshachukuliwa na imeshanunuliwa na wakulima wote wao wameshalipwa hela.
And mobile phone company Vodacom has announced a 15% discount for customers who will use their M-Pesa accounts to buy tickets to travel on Turkish Airlines. The promotion lasts until December of this year.
Today we announce a campaign where all customers who pay for their Turkish airline tickets through M-Pesa will get a 15% discount. The aim is to encourage more people to use phones to make payments.
Au punguzo la 15%.
That's all for business news. Sports is next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lind.
And in sports, the Olympic Committee in the country has received an official invitation from the International Olympic Committee to participate in the 2020 Olympic Games to be held in Tokyo, Japan between July 24th and August 9th.
It is our responsibility, now that we have signed a memorandum, to see how we can effectively cooperate and implement. We are happy, Mr. Mayor and Director, for your visit, and we welcome you back once again in the future.
Especially Nagai City, welcome to the Tanzanian national team to train or preparing for the game of the Olympics before the Olympic Games in 2020. But more than that, it will be a milestone for broader exchange or interaction between Tanzania and Japan.
And the Minister of Home Affairs, Kangi Lugola, has called on Lodhir Company, the sponsors of the police force team, to consider building a football ground for the team so that they can use it for training as well as to generate revenue. The police force team will tomorrow play Azam FC in a friendly game prior to the start of the Premier League Tanzania mainland season.
Na mafanikio nayoyaona na matarajio yanayokuja hapo mbele, tufike pahala sisi kama jeshi muwe na ndoto ya sisi kuwa na stadium yetu ya majeshi haya mahala, kwamba hiyo ni stadium. Hiyo ndio miundombinu mikubwa.
Caster Semenya says she will not defend her World Championship 800-meter title in September after a setback in her challenge to the restricting of testosterone levels in female runners. Here is more.
But the South African said she will continue her fight for human rights despite her disappointment. Semenya has twice appealed against IAAF rules. Semenya has twice appealed against IAAF rules preventing her from running without medication. But a ruling allowing her to compete has now been overturned. Semenya is challenging new rules from the sports world governing body, the International Association of Athletics Federations, that she and other athletes with differences of sexual development, DSD, must either take testosterone-reducing medication in order to compete in track events from 400 meters to the mile or change to another distance.
Mauricio Pochettino says he's not in charge of transfers at Tottenham and believes his job title should be changed from manager to coach. Here are more details.
After Spurs' 1-0 Audi Cup win over Real Madrid in Munich on Tuesday. Earlier this month, Spurs broke their transfer record to sign Lyon midfielder Tanguy Ndombele, the club's second signing since January 2018. When he extended his contract at Tottenham in 2016, his job title changed from head coach to manager, and the 47-year-old said at the time we are engaged that it would be good for myself, for the club, for all.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. My name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching and have a good night.